Welcome to BODS Mayhem Hour, your source for all hard rock, heavy metal, new metal, alternative, punk, horror punk, hardcore, rock, and all local bands, with your host, John the Bod, a.k.a. the Bodfather.
Hi, this is Jake.
This is Alex.
Hey, this is Chandler.
And we're the Native Howl, and you're listening to BODS Mayhem Hour.
The views and opinions of the guest do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of BODS Mayhem Radio Network, its staff, affiliates, or sponsors. Parental discretion is advised. Welcome to BODS Mayhem Radio Network.
Hey everybody, welcome to BODS Mayhem Hour. I'm your host, John the Bod, a.k.a. the Bodfather. As always, I bring you guys and gals awesome interviews. Today, it's an honor and a privilege to have the band, the Native Howl. The Native Howl have released a video for the song Harvester of Constant Sorrow, and we're going to get into that just a little bit. And, man, these guys have blended rock, folk, bluegrass, alternative, and I'm even going to say it, thrash metal all together. Also, they have released their double-length album, Out of the Garden and Into the Darkness, that was released in July of 2018, and it debuted at number 3 on the Bluegrass Billboard chart and number 50 on the New Artist Album Billboard chart. So don't be sleeping on just because you hear the word bluegrass. So these guys can Don't be sleeping on that, because these guys can really hold their own. So welcome to the show, and please introduce yourselves if you don't mind.
Hi, this is Jake Sawicki. I play banjo and sing.
This is Alex Holycross. I play guitar and bouzouki and sing.
Hey, what's up? This is Chandler. I play bass guitar in the band, and we all sing.
And then our drummer Josh is absent at the moment, but he offers his grace in his absence.
How's it been working with FM Music Management so far, guys?
Oh, it's been great. They've given us a lot of good opportunities, and all really good people that know good music. So it's been a pleasure working with them so far, and looking forward to what the future holds with them.
Alex and Jake joined forces in 2013 to create the band Native Howl. You guys soon recorded and released the Revolution's Dead, and you guys started performing live and creating music that would form their 2015 release, and I hope I pronounced this right, Inukshuk.
That'll do.
When you started working on potential songs, what direction did you possibly want it to sound like or be like or go into? Did you have any idea at that time, possibly?
Well, we started out as a folk duo, and we were experimenting with a bunch of stuff. But the musical changes and pushing towards this thrashgrass stuff really started happening when we got Josh and Chandler in the band. That's when it was kind of pulling our metal influences and our bluegrass influences together, you know.
You have released a video for the song Harvester of Constant Sorrow, which is Metallica's Harvester of Sorrow and the Soggy Bottom Boys' bluegrass song Man of Constant Sorrow. You have blended rock, folk, bluegrass, alternative, and thrash metal, and all this together. How did this come about of wanting to mix, Metallica's heavy, heavy Harvester of Sorrow to the Soggy Bottom Boys, Man of Constant Sorrow? How'd this happen?
Well, truth be told, I was out for a run one day, and I was checking we have this group on Facebook called the Howlers, which is just our fan group or whatever you want to call it. And I saw that someone had posted a cover that Sean James did. He covered, Ain't No Sunshine. And it was really good, but I was just thinking, what cover could our band do? What's something that we could do? Because we're not a cover band. We've never played a cover, and this is the closest thing to a cover, if you want to call it, that we've done. But I remember at the time, this was right about a year ago, so it was September of 2018, when mashups were pretty big at the time. Like, people mashing songs together, and not like compositional mashups like we did, but just literally taking audio of two songs and putting them together. So I remember at the time, the big one was someone mashed War Pigs by Sabbath with Whole Lot of Love by Zeppelin. I mean, it was cool, but, I was thinking, what could we do? You know, how could we expound upon that idea? And a month or maybe a couple months prior to that, we had done a poll on our Facebook page just asking our fans, if you could have us cover one song, what would it be? And there was a bunch of answers, but by far the most popular response was Man of Constant Sorrow, right? And that happens to be, you know, I think collectively as a band, one of our favorite bluegrass songs of all time. It's definitely my favorite.
And even before that question, people would message us even without any
you're right.
inclination, like without any of us saying, you know, what's your favorite song. They would just tell us, hey, you guys should really do a cover of Man of Constant Sorrow. Or Man of Sorrow.
Yeah, Man of Constant.
Now I'm getting it all messed up. Yeah.
So I was just thinking, how could we, you know, what could we mix Man of Constant Sorrow with? And then I was running and I looked down at my hand and I wear a Metallica ring, and it just hit me like a ton of bricks. I thought, Harvester of Sorrow. Well, there's the name. So immediately I Googled Harvester of Constant Sorrow to make sure no one else had done it first. And then the second I realized that no one had done it yet, I called every member of the band in a row, back to back, and was like, dude, this is what we're doing. And everyone was like, hell yeah, dude. So that's how it came about, the idea at least.
When you look down at your ring, did you channel your inner Clifford Burton?
That would be. I was channeling my inner James Hetfield, but but Chandler was definitely, even in the video visually, he was channeling old Cliff.
Child, yeah.
Did it kind of like, I don't know, I don't mean this in a bad way, but kind of intimidate you a little bit to say, okay, we're going to take Harvester of Sorrow and we're going to mix with, you know, Man of Constant Sorrow. Let's, you know, is this going to turn out good or not?
This is Jake speaking, the banjo player. I don't know that we were intimidated at all. It's just, we always challenge ourselves. We have ever since the start, you know, and we always write things that we can't play and play it afterwards. So, you know, it was just another project.
Well, our first single, or the first Thrashgrass single we did, Thunderhead, Jake literally learned how to play banjo for the song, because I showed him the tune and he was like, this song needs banjo. And I was like, no, dude, this is a 2-guitar song. He was like, no, it needs banjo. I'm gonna learn how to play banjo. I was like, all right, dude, see you in 6 months. And 6 months later, he learned to play the banjo for that song. So it's like, yeah, we always write stuff better than we are, and then aspire to get there. Technically.
But it was a really fun project, and I was like, it was a welcome challenge to try to put that together. I mean, from the composition to just the part writing. I mean, it was a fun project.
There's a lot to it, yeah.
What's impressed or excited you guys the most about making the video Harvester of Constant Sorrow? Does anything stick out for you or impresses you about it possibly?
Well, yeah, it was cool talking the video side of it with our buddy Joe, who's our partners at our studio and our record label. The idea of blending the videos together, meaning the video, obviously we did one by Metallica, and then the movie, Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? Blending those two like insanely different styles. They were so kind of contrasting in color, in just the vibe of both of them, that it was fun to make the video, switching between scenes. Like obviously the main scene we did of the video from Oh Brother, Where Art Thou was the studio scene, and then just taking the performance aspect from the one video. It was a challenge, but it was super cool, and the contrast between both of them was made writing the video itself or storyboarding it easier. But
that's true. And I was, because we do all our own videos, I'm always really excited to number one, just sit around and brainstorm the ideas and then see it go through the whole process. But my favorite part is actually trying to make it happen and building the scenes. So like making that can microphone and coming up with the setting to try to replicate one, which we did there's just a barn on the property.
It's like literally 100 feet from where we're sitting right now.
Like Jake actually made the tin can microphone by hand. the replicant of the old school microphone that they used in Oh Brother Where Art Thou. So
I went to Salvation Army. We bought a bunch of old looking clothes. That
might have been the most fun and least daunting part, was building the costumes.
Yeah,
it was like for Oh Brother Where Art Thou, we have to just look like people who just broke out of prison.
So we're spraying we got a water mixer on us. Like, we took a Windex bottle and we just put water in it. Right before the shot, we go, we're spraying each other, going, you got to look sweatier, man. You got to look dirtier.
And then the details, like for the one video, like just me getting the black or the armbands that Hetfield used.
Yep, I got them.
And Chan doing the Cliff era, even though we were in And Justice
little
for All.
mustachio, even got a little mustache.
That was a
to make an homage to Cliff, even though Newstead was on the album. Not that anyone would ever know.
Right.
But yeah, just a little homage to Cliff.
Is this a one-off song, or is it going to be on the next album or EP down the road? Maybe, possibly.
Yeah, we're possibly looking into putting it on the next record. We're just waiting on some licensing issues. Believe it or not, Metallica's not quick to get back to you.
God.
I guess they got out of it.
Yeah, I guess they're pretty busy guys. But pending licensing issues being resolved, we're really hoping that we can put it on the next record.
Or I could really see it as a B-side too, like a bonus track.
Sure. Yeah. Hidden track or something like that. Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, for sure. 2017, you had your first U.S. tour. How was that for you guys? Let's talk about that a little bit.
So that would have been right after Thrashgrass came out, and that was a shorter run, and it was great, man. We started in Philadelphia, I remember, at the Voltage Lounge, and it was just surreal getting around the whole country, and Thunderhead had just started really, going places. And it was all new to us. So, everything's gradual. And when that video hit and we hit the road, you feel like a kid in a candy shop. Yeah, we're all out there. And even having, 40, 30 people, whatever it was each night, it was just amazing that some people knew the words to our songs.
That was the craziest.
We'd never really experienced that before, all across the country, yeah.
Especially creating the style of music that you guys do and having people to gravitate towards it. That's pretty cool too, man.
Seems like it's not surprising, but it's nice to see that this alternative genre that we've built is resonating with people. We're hoping that we're maybe filling a void in some people's musical wants and needs, maybe.
The Lord knows the scene needs something new. There's just so much. I feel like there's so much stuff being rehashed, even in movies, no matter what the entertainment form. There's so many things that there's just not often enough original ideas out there in this. When you have the internet now, I don't know if it's just that you have so much access to influence that people just gravitate too much and take too much from it. But they're really, I think that it's time for some new genres, no matter what the medium is.
Yeah, I do this all the time, and you have to sit there and just sift through stuff constantly. There's a lot of good stuff out there. It's just time-consuming to find it.
Yeah.
Right. Internet's a big place.
Mm-hmm. In today's music world, guys, some bands only put an EP or album out. I know you guys put out a couple EPs and now this new album. And then they're done pretty much. How does it feel to still be able to put out an album, being a band that blends all the stuff that you guys do, especially the double-length album that's out right now for you guys? How does it feel to be able to still continue to do this?
Well, it's cool because we're in a unique position because we built our own recording studio and own our own record label, so we can pretty much do things how we want. So it's nice to say, okay, we're going to put out a 4-song EP that's just shy of 20 minutes long, and then, okay, the next project, we're going to take 14 months, and we're going to record just shy of 90 minutes, an hour and a half double-length album. So it's cool that we have the freedom to do what we want with our own studio and our own record label. But it seems like what we're doing is resonating with some people, and we're gonna keep doing it. And not sure what's next, whether we're gonna do an EP, gonna do an LP, gonna do a quadruple album. But anything's possible when we're doing things our way, you know.
Do you like having that control of your guys' music, and plus being able to just record when you want to do it?
Absolutely. I think it's really the way that it should be. If you think about it, I mean, because when it comes down to it, we're artists, and we've only really been recording music, for 100 years. It's been the length of, how long we've been recording music for. And, people aren't as fortunate as us, so that's where record labels come in and they say, all right, we'll give you this much money to go record. But really, we're just making the music that we want to make, and we're able to put it on, in digital form and just push it out whenever we want. And I think it's a great thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
The future. It is the future.
Also, keep an eye on this thing they're calling the internet.
Things got legs.
How long did it take to write and complete the new album that's out right now?
Oh my gosh.
Well, I can tell you, to record it took 14 months.
Wow.
Felt like
It felt like 14 years, but it was. And when we say 14 months, it wasn't like weekend warriors. Like, we'll see you Friday through Sunday. It was every single day.
Late into the
and
night.
We're all working day jobs and coming to the studio after and cutting late into the night. I mean, 6-7 days a week. And, it was an undertaking, to say the least, but it was real, very gratifying to be holding that LP, an actual dual vinyl, heavier than a brick. It was very gratifying to actually see your work, that much work, come to fruition.
And the interesting thing about that album is that there really was a lot of different, almost eras of sound that we encompassed. So it wasn't like, it was all written in that 14-month span, even though there was some stuff.
Probably 3 years.
Yeah, it was really like 3 years of stuff and different. And I think you can hear that if you listen to the album. It's such it's a diverse album, and there's a lot of different variety on it, even with our signature sounds all over the map. But there's you can kind of hear different influences all over the place if you listen for it, and that's because of the time frames they were written in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I almost look at that album, there's a lot of pieces that we tied together to make fit, but it was also just like a purge of all of our material so that we could have a fresh start too. And I love that album. It's awesome, and I'm excited for the next one, and I'm excited for the one after that too, because now we're really rolling.
Yep. One thing I think we've all said about that album is that we had to do that album. I think that just as a group, it's not all Thrashgrass, that whole album, which we're most well known for, but I think we all had to get those songs out of us and those ideas out of us, and we're really happy we did, because it really, there's a lot of different sides to us, and I think that album really showcases all of those sides.
Any songs standing out more to you than any right now on that album? I know it must change every time you listen to it, or you may even be sick of them. But are there any that stand out for you guys possibly?
Well, I think definitely from a live perspective, the Thrashgrass style tunes on that record stick out, like Into the Darkness, Mercy, Something Else, those tunes that...
Happy.
Yeah.
I love
songs that the fans know and love because it's akin to our style that we put out on the album Thrashgrass. But there's tunes, like the song Wetica that Jake sings on. It's, that's a totally different style, but still you can hear where our the inside of the Venn diagram between our influences draws from.
In my personal favorite, Chandler here, my personal favorite song we've ever recorded, the last track on the album, what I call our magnum opus up to this point, which is the title cut, Out of the Garden, or at least half the title cut. Yeah. And that song's special to me. I really do feel like when we play that as a band, it's a different feel to me. I feel like we're all really connected on that song.
Yeah.
Which we've done very seldomly.
What has adding drummer Josh Lemieux and bassist Mark Chandler to this band when the pieces finally fell together to add a drummer and a bassist?
The bass player's an asshole.
Yeah, it says the bass player. No, it was when they came into the band. It was when it finally became the band. You know, we became the Native Howl when they came.
Yeah, and I think we're all really open-minded, which is nice. So everyone puts their own little touch on the sound, and you know, it's synergism. You know, we wouldn't sound this way if we had other people writing on it. So.
Right.
What do you hope everyone takes away, or message you hope they hear while listening to any of the Native Howl's music in general, or Harvester of Constant Sorrow? What do you hope everybody gets from your guys' music, possibly?
That's a heavy question, man. Me personally, I would say that what I often say at the end of our shows is that if people who come to the show for an hour or an hour and a half can just put aside their problems in their lives, bills to pay, jobs, personal issues, if they can put those aside and just have fun for an hour, hour and a half, then we've done our job. That's what we're here to do, is just make people forget about the bad things for an hour and just have a good time.
And I think that something I think about, it might sound silly, but the word magic, in that when you listen to our music, that, I don't know, to me, music's the highest art form, and it is, I hope that when they listen to it, that they there's this sense of mysticism or magic to it that I get when I listen to my favorite band, Iron Maiden. I can tell you the theory behind it, the chord progressions, the harmonies, everything. But when I listen to that band, there's something about it that I can't put my finger on what it is. And I hope people, when they listen to us, that it just fuels them and it makes them feel like they belong, and that there's something bigger than ourselves.
You always talk about escapism.
Yeah.
You know.
True form of escapism, yeah, is if you can put on your headphones and listen to our music and truly forget about everything else and escape into this realm outside of itself, to me that's kind of a form of magic, if you will.
Who did the artwork for Out of the Garden Into the Darkness? Who did the cool artwork on this? I know it's a wolf, but I mean, who did it for you guys?
That was one of our friends, Josh Aller. He's an artist by profession. He did all the sketches by hand, and he made the logo on the front and the back in a CAD program. But it's interesting, the logo on the back for Into the Darkness was something that he saw in a dream, and we were like, we want a symbol that, you know, it looks like some sort of ancient symbol because, you know, it fits the old feel of the book, but it doesn't actually mean anything yet. You know, I guess it's branding, but no. And so he came up with it all, and he really killed it. And then he shot everything over to us, and then we laid it out in you know, the way that we wanted it to be laid.
Do you see this band still musically growing from where it started, or has it just been more of a personal growth for all of you guys involved in the Native Howl?
Yeah, it seems like Jake and Chan said, it's been like the last record, Out of the Garden Into the Darkness, was sort of a purge, us getting out all these different styles that we've been writing in for years. But it's kind of cool that now, after that record, that we're kind of getting back to our thrash grass roots and sort of going back in that vein of writing and hoping to push it as far as we can take it.
How much local support do you guys get?
Quite a bit.
Yeah.
We only play in Michigan once or twice a year, so whenever we do, it's a real barn burner. So we're actually playing for the first time. We're playing in my hometown of Lake Orion, Michigan, on September 14th. But yeah, since we only play in town a couple times a year, it almost seems like a family reunion whenever we get back together in town, you know.
When you guys are coming into the recording studio, do you like to do anything differently during the writing and recording process? I know that's two different concepts, to maybe keep your mind fresh, not to get bored, not to get stale. Do you do anything that helps you guys out possibly?
I think everybody's different, but I mean, at the end of the day, I think we all care about it so much that we consider it work. So work, but art. So we all really make sure when we come in here and we are recording that we just we keep going and going and going, no matter what the thing is. If we've got to fix cables, we have to try more ideas. We really do we try to make it a steady stream of constantly going at it. And with that being said, too, I think that every song, we're a weird band in the sense that I think a lot of bands, they write songs the same, like it'll be the same format, not the song itself, but the writing process. It'll be like, oh, one guy brings it in and everybody plays it. And with our band, it really changes from song to song, it seems like. Like if you listen to Out of the Garden, so many of those songs were written differently, even if it's minutely. It keeps it interesting, I think.
What can fans expect at a show from the Native Howl who have not got to see you guys live as of yet? What are they going to get when they come to see you?
Hopefully a black eye and a good time.
A lot of people comment on the energy that we bring live, and we really do. I mean, every one of us. I remember, like we prepare, we get in the right headspace before, and we go up there to put on a show, and we leave it all on the stage, or at least we try to every single night. So
you'll smell the best of
us. What made each of you want to become a musician? What was that spark that said, yeah, that's what I want to do right there?
Yeah, that is a tough question, actually. For me, I don't know that there was ever a specific time that I wanted to become a musician. I just, far back as I can remember, really wanted to be honest, like playing piano.
I can remember. I always wanted to be a gangster.
Well, I knew when I came out of the womb with a little mini guitar. I knew something had to be done with music.
Yeah, and I think I know Alex is this way, and I am this way too. I just have always had like songs just playing in my head, and they had to come out, I guess.
Yeah.
Not to mention, speaking for myself, Chandler, it's the only thing I'm good
at. Is there a country so far that stands out or shocks you guys that the Native Howl gets support from, or your music even gets played in that area possibly?
Well, funny story. When we were on this last tour, right after we played Sturgis, we took a day off and we went to the Black Hills of South Dakota, and there were cliffs that you could jump off of into a lake, and we did some cliff diving, and we've had 2 videos of us just jumping off of a cliff go viral in India. One of those cliff diving videos has 40 million views, and then another one has 30 million views. And it's pretty wild when you have there's comments on the videos there was one comment where some guy said, I was having breakfast and one of the people from my village came over and showed me this video and said that it made his life better. And he seriously was thanking us from his entire village of India. So that was a little shocking. I don't know if they'll probably hate our music, but they love our cliff diving.
That is a weird thing, but if it works, it works, you know.
It's a big old country.
As far as the music side of it goes, though, it's cool to see a lot of support from the UK. We have a lot of people asking us to come play over Hop the Pond and play in the UK. So we're hoping to do that next year sometime.
Most people probably don't know, but Thrashgrass actually charted in Austria when it came out. They're not a big country of ours or anything, but it did chart there, so that was something.
Is there a band on the bucket list that you guys would like to tour with, or maybe even do like an old school album split with, possibly?
Metallica.
Yeah, Metallica, probably. That would be a dream come true.
Well, hey, if they did the Lou Reed album, why can't they do a Native Howl album,
Well, they'll probably see our Harvester of Constant Sorrow video at some point, and then they'll hate us and blackball us in the industry, and we'll never get to work with them. So, perfect.
Don't say that. Ain't gonna happen. It'll be good, guys. Trust me. Do you each have a go-to album or song that just lets you escape when you were younger, or maybe even today, possibly, that lets you do that?
Yeah, I got albums for different times and different moods, I'd say. But one that I've always gone back to is actually the Fleet Foxes' second album, the Helplessness Blues, and another one is actually the Decemberists' Hazards of Love. So little oddball ones for me playing thrash metal bluegrass, but I love them.
Yeah, for me, I would say it's CKY's record, Infiltrate, Destroy, Rebuild, is the record that made me want to write music and produce music. So that's definitely my top.
My tastes keep changing the older I get, but at the moment, the past few years, I'd say a big one for me is Opeth's Still Life. That album I never ever get sick of. I don't think I ever will. Or Iron Maiden's Power Slave. That's always beauty.
Folks, you want to get out and pick up Out of the Garden and Into the Darkness. And also you want to get out and check out Harvester of Constant Sorrow video by the Native Howl. You will not be disappointed. Just give these guys a chance. And like I said, do not sleep on the word bluegrass. Trust me. Not by far. Trust me. How could folks stay in touch with you guys, buy some merchandise, these albums, everything that you have out, tour dates, all that good stuff? How can they do that?
TheNativeHowl.com and our Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. Just Google The Native Howl, and we're there.
Before I let you guys go, would you care to do a promo for the show?
Sounds great.
Hi, this is Jake.
This is Alex.
Hey, this is Chandler.
And we're The Native Howl, and you're listening to BODS Mayhem Hour.
Everybody stick around. We got some great stuff coming up, and you only hear these interviews right here on BODS Mayhem Hour and BODS Mayhem Radio Network. Please get out and check out our Facebook page. It has our YouTube link, podcast link, and soon our Twitch link. Please, it's very important to get out and subscribe and like our YouTube page because all of our stuff will be going up on the BODS Mayhem Hour YouTube page. Also, get out and check out the Native Howl. Please pick up Out of the Garden and Into the Darkness album and check out their video for Harvester of Constant Sorrow. Good stuff from these guys. So, guys, I wish you guys nothing but the best of luck from here on out.
Thanks for having us, John. We appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks.
You're listening to BODS Mayhem Hour.
Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.